Chat, what a wonderful day in Highguard. I've enjoyed my time with it. I don't think there's ever been a moment that I played this game where I didn't enjoy my time with it. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I know. There's a lot of jokes. Midgard, Concord 2.0. The raid phase of the game is actually a lot of fun. I'm just not a fan of the loot and setup phase. Yeah. Everyone has like what they don't like, what they do like. I don't know. What I think the game would really do well with is keep this 3v3 mode as its core rank mode, and then probably I think they should just go full MOBA. Just do a full MOBA, add a shop, just full send in that direction. If they could just bring the length of the games down some, I'd be more interested. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Go kind of casual about, statements like that is pretty casual. You know, I'm coming from like a MOBA game, like if a League of Legends game that's like really heated can go up to 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Like that's very common for games. If you're looking for like a party game where you jump in and like just shoot some people, there are other games out there. Maybe they could add a mode like that, but like this is the style. Deadlock outside of type MMRs commonly hits 40+ minutes. Yeah. So like when you're like, some of you are like, I want my games to be 10 minutes. Well, either you get killed and you get steamrolled, or you steamroll. That's how you can keep it down to 10 minutes. But like a super competitive, like you're going back and forth with another team. Hell yeah, this shit it'll go 30, 35 minutes. I would say they definitely got to get the performance right. Add more settings, all that jazz. So that shit should have never been the way it was. They added settings in the patch notes. Oh, did they really? They do it for consoles too? Oh yeah, never mind. They did add a bunch of settings. Bloom, chromatic. Nothing about motion blur though, huh? The motion blur and depth of blur aren't ready. They're working on it. All right, so that's where I have some problems. How are you going to launch this game without these settings? You know what I'm saying? So if there is like, I think gameplay is solid. I even think just 3v3 for now is okay. But how are you going to launch this game without these settings? That shit needs to happen yesterday. Anyways, I feel like we're probably going to do like a full-blown review of this game. But I think they need to really get the setting changes out. And I think they really need to consider a 5v5 MOBA version of this game. So, because the bones are really good. Oh, it's whatever, dude. It's whatever. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of negativity around this game. But, it's whatever. I don't give a shit. I played RuneScape when RuneScape was looked at like people spit on that game. Piece of what kind of browser game piece of shit is that? At one time, RuneScape was like the lowest of the low. You know what I mean? Like who the would play that piece of shit? I played it. Play the hell out of it. Yeah, dude. Everybody would be like, especially like the WoW community. They were like, why don't you come play a real MMORPG? And don't get me wrong, I like WoW. The only reason why I didn't play WoW is no money and no good PC. But yeah, the WoW community to be like peasants. The review bombing and hate is forced. I wish the devs well with this game. It's something fresh. It's a great break from the constant distraction games of BR game. PS, where's this in classic? I mean, look, man, people complain about trend chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is different. It really is different. But I almost wonder if the devs are sitting there going, should we just have made an extraction? A solid foundation concept for a game. There's a new release to be polished as long as it gets the respect it deserves. Well, the devs are gonna have to cook, man. I don't know if they thought that when they launched this game that they thought like, look, this was my assessment last week. We got there Thursday, played it Thursday. At first when I was playing it, I was like, all right, it's okay. Took lunch, came back, and just started really clicking with some of the different heroes here, the different wardens. And then I started to see like we had some close matches, and I was like, all right, I see the vision. But I can't help but feel like Highguard is missing a little something. Like I can't help but feel like this 3v3 mode is great for rank, but I really feel like this game should create its own MOBA. Like it should have its own MOBA variant. Like straight up go full deadlock League of Legends with this thing. Okay, have it 5v5, have PvE enemies, have little world bosses and everything else. You have to design an entire map for it. You'll have to construct its lanes. Anybody here remember playing like Paragon back in the day? Spellcaster Chronicles is another really good one. I think the playtest is going on right now for it. We'll have to play it on here again eventually. But like stuff like that, man, like this game's got the bones to really work so well in that environment. But it has a lot of depth. It's got a lot of depth that I don't know developers are going to have, the time to put that in to make that work. And plus, this is just my vision for what I see from this game. I feel like a mix of PvE into the thing, into this would really spice things up. And I even brought up to some of the developers, like, is there any chance we get an element of PvE in here? I think the closest thing that they would do in terms of adding another game mode would be like a 4v4 mode. Because they said they originally tried 4v4. They settled on 3v3. And so just since 3v3, it just seemed to work well in terms of, being more competitive, not having as much death ball and things like that. And so I get the idea around the 3v3. And if they did a 4v4, maybe that would spice things up a little bit. I really feel like a MOBA here and I know some of you should be like, Cross, just go play Deadlock if you want to play a damn MOBA. I'm telling you, I think the bones here are really, really good here for Highguard. The only other issue that I could see Highguard running into if they did do a MOBA is performance. And if there is one thing that's really holding this game back right now, is I really do think the performance, it's not catastrophic, but it's not good. It's not where it needs to be if they're trying to pitch this super competitive experience. You know what I mean? If I'm having to download files so I can turn off motion blur and turn off mouse acceleration, and they're adding these settings, but it should have definitely launched with the game. It shouldn't be like, those are like that's the bare minimum, man. Those setting changes. I didn't even realize the lack of setting changes when I first play tested this thing, and just even take note of that. But they need to jump on that. And I guess if they were to ever do like a 5v5 MOBA, I'm concerned that the game's performance would just be awful, because then you would have a lot happening. You would have not only a huge map, you got 10 players on the map, you've got a ton of PvE ads coming in. And I could see where things could get a bit hairy. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem with it. It feels unfinished in a way. Yeah, and look, there are some thoughts being thrown out there. Things like, what if they did like a 3v3 mode within the current game mode that they have now, which is these sieges. The only issue I have with that is like, they're going to have to figure out a way. How do you keep two teams coming together and blowing up another base? You know where I'm coming from? And then on top of that, people are already complaining about the length of the matches. When it's a close match, you're talking 30, 35 minutes. You add a third team into the mix, brother, you're talking a 45-minute game, potentially an hour. You see what I mean? Like, that can turn into a very, very long game. They should do 3 bases, but you can steal the siege breaker. God, dude, that just seems so chaotic. You know what I mean? And in some of these situations, they just got to try it out. They just got to try it out and see. They've obviously invested a lot into this game. I don't know what numbers they were hoping to hit, but, obviously the numbers are not fantastic. But it definitely is no Concord. Guys, keep in mind, Concord didn't break 1,000 concurrent players. I think it was like, what, 970 or something like that? It didn't even break 1,000 concurrents. This game, its highest peak concurrent was 97,000 on Steam. I think it's somewhere sitting around like the 10K mark right now. It had a price tag. Yeah, and they also refunded that shit. If there's one thing I can give this game credit to, I feel like the monetization is good. Nothing seems predatory to me. No loot boxes, direct purchase for the bundles. Even if you could say some are a bit pricier. There's a battle pass, or there's a free battle pass that you literally just play the game and, get currency in to spend it on. You've even got another store that you have like silver currency that you can come over here. And I think the store might be here. The trading post, and you can go make these purchases with ads. And so I really feel like they're pretty fair here across the board. But I do agree too that there should be something else outside of just the 3v3 game mode. What is going to drive money though? These skins need to entice players. Nothing would drive money more than just making a really good game. Okay, so like I think the skins are good, but it's like just worry about making a good game. And I think the devs know that. I don't know, guys, what do you want? And when you look at skins like this, are you like, that is just hideous? That shit is hideous. I was gonna play this game and then I saw this skin and hell no, I'm done. That's whatever. I think the skins are fine. I think Highguard has some good bones in it. Really, really. There's a reason why we've put in, I don't know how many hours we got in. 30 hours almost. Put in 30 hours in this game, dude. And to be quite honest, when rank drops, I'm probably going to play it some more. But I'm always going to sit here and say, man, what if they could add a 5v5 MOBA style variants, drop PvE ads into that thing. It would make it more chaotic. They should try the 3v3v3 mode. And I think that they've got this whole roadmap lined up for the next 12 months. I would really consider moving some of those pieces that are at the 3 to 6 month mark, find ways to move those things up to this first month. And because you may be in a situation where this is the most you're going to have, like this is the most momentum you're going to have. It may not feel like a lot of momentum, but it is so much harder to regain players once they drop off. You know, I don't know if a situation like 6, 7, 8 months from now, and you're like just now, you know, you've got this whole rollout of content, but there will be so many people that will have moved on by then. And so some of those timetables, I think they should definitely move up. And they even make some announcements about like, hey, we're looking at some new game modes outside of the 3v3 mode. We're still going to keep 3v3 though, and we're still going to do the rank mode. That's obviously going to be 3v3. But then, you know, at least mention you're working on the next game mode. Can you imagine 3 teams of 3 defending bases simultaneously? Dude, that would be nice. That would be cool. That would be chaotic. You know, I'm telling you guys, this game, imagine it's like right now, things are a little one-dimensional, but that dimension makes it quote unquote competitive. You go into the middle, you pick up the shield break, you take the shield break, you put it in pierce the shield of your enemy's base. But dude, imagine if you could fight over another spot on the map in tandem with the shield breaker, and you get it and you activate it, and it spawns in this giant titan that just walks slowly toward your enemy's base that you choose, and it just sits there and wails on it. You know what I mean? I know I'm pulling this straight out of Spellcaster Chronicles, but it's just fun. It's fun, man. You should be able to use the shield breaker as a weapon when you're holding it. Yeah, that's a good thought. I mean, it is a cool ass sword. I mean, it should be like, I would make it where it has very limited range, but anyone you touch with it, one hits them. That'd be kind of cool. The game's aesthetics is so ass. It's too hard to even think about trying this game. Yeah, I don't really think the game is as ugly as everyone's saying. Like, truly, like, I don't know, like, there's different art styles and whatever else. I don't think I've looked at Highguard and been like, that's just hideous. You know, this is Apex from Dollar General. I don't know the fuck you're talking about. Apex is not attractive. I'm gonna be straight with you. Apex is objectively a shittier game than this. Matter of fact, let me go straight, take this a step forward. I don't think there's ever been a moment I enjoyed myself playing Apex. No, I'm just letting you know, man. I don't care for Apex. I don't think Apex is sexy. I don't think the gunfights are fun. I don't care for the aesthetic. Apex is a reload simulator. How do you conduct your gunfights? I reload a lot. Constantly reloading. Just make Titanfall 3. That's the other question I want to bring up. Were people hoping that this studio was going to make Titanfall 3? Because obviously they can't. Legally, they can't. That's where I believe this game is getting the most hate. Look, this game has fallen into a very similar vein. Like, when people saw it, they immediately go, here's Concord 2.0. Even though this game is vastly different than Concord. It is not your typical hero shooter like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals or Concord, but that was like the thing that people attached to. I will say the reveal trailer was not good though. First impressions are important. That reveal trailer wasn't it. At the same time, no one would have even cared had this game's game trailer dropped in the middle of the Game Awards. You would have had people interested, but most people would just be like, all right, the next trailer. I really think it should have dropped in the middle. Now you can make an argument and say maybe it dropping at the end and having the impact and the controversy that it has is what led to its, you know, its initial concurrent player count being relatively high. Didn't break 100K, but 97,000, still pretty good. So in some ways, maybe it was good that it had that last spot. And keep in mind, even though everyone's saying that like that they pay for that last spot, they publicly came out and said they did not pay for that last spot. Jeff had played this game last year or maybe the year before, and he liked it a lot, and he wanted to make it the last slot of the night. So it was something that impacted him. And at this point, I'm convinced that only Jeff and I like this damn game. Jeff genuinely loves this game. That man has been on Twitter and he loves this fucking game. But I think what really happened is, you know, this game kind of became the target of, you know, all the things gamers hate, right? Unoriginal thoughts, the greed, corporate corporate gaming companies, you know what I mean? Just all the negativity. When the dev team is relatively small, they're breakaway developers from those big corporations. Their monetization is stupidly fair. I mean, there's nothing like, honestly, you don't have to buy shit. And not that you would have to buy anything, but like the damn pass is completely free and all you have to do is just play. And you get some of the best strip right there from the pass. I mean, the first statement from the developers were, we made this monetization the way we as gamers would want monetization to be. But somehow this game has kind of become that target. Bro, did they give you stock or something? I wish, man. I wish there was a logical reason, because I've been catching heat for saying I like this game. I fucking wish. I wish I could sit and be like, you know what? I'm catching all this heat online for saying I like Highguard, but at least we going to the bank. Ain't none of that shit happening. But I'm going to tell you if I like something, and I like this game. Dude, I played 25 hours of Starfield. Why? So that I could shit on it. And let me just say, it was excruciating. I went into there as hopeful as you could be, optimistic about this new IP. I fucking love Bethesda. And I was so excited to try Starfield. And every hour that you guys would come and be like, don't worry, Cross, it gets better after hour 5. Don't worry, Cross, after hour 11, it gets better. Don't worry, Cross, at 20 hours, it'll change your life. And it was just ass all the way through. Starfield stayed ass all the way through. It was one of the most painful 25 hours I've ever experienced in gaming. Boring. I put 30 hours in Highguard and it's felt nothing like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would put Highguard up there with some of the PvP games that I have a great time playing. This is up there, man. This is up there. I enjoy the PvP a lot. I find this game entertaining as hell to watch. Reminds me of when Apex Legends first came out. Do you see a Battle Royale mode being fun for this game? No, I'm telling you, man. I'm just... My gut tells me a MOBA 5v5 variant of this game, or a 3v3v3 mode with PvE enemies, or a means of spawning PvE enemies would be fun. But here's the thing, it would be chaotic. And unless they've been working on something like that, you don't just think about how long Deadlock has been in beta or playtesting. You know what I mean? You don't just want to spring that shit in, because it's a good chance it's going to be broken, busted, garbage, and that's going to be awful. I think that if they could somehow just push that as quickly as they can and do a ton of playtesting, open it up to community, and then like also like pitch it as that, like, hey, we're doing this MOBA variant. Hey, this is not our competitive mode. If you want competitive, we have 3v3, we got ranked. You play that. This is for the folks that just want to have fun and things be chaotic. But hold up, there's a lot that comes with the MOBA, because like if they go full MOBA with this thing, you're going to need a lot more items than what they have in the game. Like a lot. And I just don't know if they could ever pull that off. The thing that they could pull off easier than that would be a 3v3v3 mode. They could pull that off easier. You would have much longer games though. And they really shouldn't change up the core of the game to try to keep that time down. But if you did a MOBA, you have to have a shop. You would have to have currency outside, like on kill. You would have to have escalating items. Then you would have to have items that tie to characters individually. There's a lot that goes into that shit. You can't take what they have in the game right now, chop up a map, and go, let's go full MOBA. Kind of hoping they do a split gate situation, take it down and bring it back later. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that, but I think if it'd be nice if they could spice it up, move some things up on the roadmap, drop some things earlier. I just don't want it to fully die. I don't either, man. That's what I'm saying. I actually like this game. I actually like this game, dude. I don't want it to die either. Skillet was saying that their mistake was launching without playtesting with the community first. Yeah, I mean, it would, I think in some ways there's like this novelty of like just shadow dropping a game, and they pretty much did the one trailer during the Game Awards, and then they just went dark. And then like not until like a day before, a couple of days before, they actually started saying some things about the game before it launched. So, you know, in a world where people say things like, hey, I wish I didn't know as much about a game before it launched, that way I could be surprised. I get the novelty of going completely dark. However, when it's a PvP game, you could gather a lot of information by having those external playtests. Would be sick to have a first-person Deadlock competitor. I know, man. The first time I played this game last week, I was like, you know what? I think this game could do it. I think it could actually compete, but it needs a lot more depth. Or just try to make a fun game. That's the thing, Mish. This game is fun. That's what, are y'all understanding what I'm saying? The game is fun. Highguard is a fun game. Highguard is a good game. I play a lot of this game. I'm going to play more of this game. But what I'm saying right now could push it into great territory. I feel like the people saying it isn't fun just haven't really played it. Most of the negative reviews on Steam are under an hour long. Did you try solo queue? Yeah, I played solo queue a bunch this week, guys. Here's what you have to do in solo queue if you want to be hyper competitive or if you want to have a good chance of winning. You have to turn on a mic and talk to people. Say, hey, there's a dick right here. He's trying to take my loot. Come help me. If you don't like talking to people, then you're probably not going to like playing solo. You see what I'm coming from? Some of you just want to just jump into a video game and shoot. And you can do that here too. But don't expect great results, winning results. You say they have a roadmap? Yeah. They got a 12-month roadmap. In 2 weeks or in a week and a half at this point, they're going to be launching a new warden and they're going to be launching rank. And I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to tear that shit up. I know. Cross, you're paid chill. Cross, you got to have equity in the company. However, Cross, there's no other logical reason. I'm going to tear that shit up. All right, guys, that's it from me. That's all I have to say about Highguard. I'll be playing more of this game. I'll be playing rank when it comes out. I enjoy it. I think it's a very fun game. I think it has some fantastic moments. However, I think the devs, they need to spice it up. They need to give us another game mode. I'm excited to try out rank, but I don't think rank's going to change things up. I don't believe, at least. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be just like what we're playing now. It's just got ranks. But yeah, dude, if they could cook a 3v3v3 game mode, maybe a MOBA variant for the long term, it can be pretty good, man.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.